Today is going to be a little bit of a different video. I'm talking about feeling behind in life, where you don't feel like you achieved anything, you haven't really done anything productive, you're kind of in the same rut, you're doing the same thing over and over, and it's kind of boring, and you need to realize that things need to change. And currently that's where I'm at. I realize for where I'm at in my current age, it's where I should be at. If anything, I'm a little bit above the vast majority of people, but that's just because of my job. Of course, the job that I'm working, it's not something that I truly want to do. I want to be creating content, and honestly, that's where I want to end up, is creating content and then eventually start a business. And for those of you that have been watching my channel for a while, I tried doing a business, but then I ran into issues with the manufacturer, so that didn't plan out on the way how it was going to work. So that got me a little bit discouraged. There's been plenty of things that I've been trying to do, trying to make that extra money and trying to get myself into a better position, but so far nothing has been sticking. And you know, at times it gets really discouraging and you just want to give up. But this video, I'm not trying to get any sympathy or, you know, anybody to feel bad for me. It's just something I want to share with you guys, because honestly, like, all these successful people, I know there's like, they show nothing but the good times and they never show the bad times. And if I do make it successful, I do make it big, I want to be like, hey, check out my older videos. These are the videos that are going to be relatable, and that's why I'm creating this video here today for you guys. Essentially, you know, I'm still living at home, kind of giving you guys some personal information, so just so you kind of understand my age frame. I'm still haven't hit the halfway mark in my 20s. I'm still in my early 20s, so I should be where I'm currently at, going based off of statistics. I'm still living at home, which is something that I'm not proud about. I want to move out, but it's so expensive. You look at the housing market prices and it's like so unaffordable, especially with like today's wages. But like, I'm better off than the vast majority of people. I'm gonna say, just so you guys kind of understand, I would probably be above, like, in the United States, probably above the 70%. So like, I'm part of like the 30% of income earners in the United States, which isn't that much, but it kind of gives you guys a ballpark area. That's, at least in my, like, going based off of statistics, that's above 50k a year, which I think I hit that around the halfway mark. But essentially I got an injury and that sent me back, so yeah, I'm not really making too much money right now. But anyways, continuing on, statistically, like, the vast majority of people in my age group, I think it's like, what, people underneath the age of 30 or something like that, I think like 60 or 70% of guys still live at home with parents or, you know, with family. And so I currently fit that statistic, which shows that, hey, I'm doing what the vast majority of people do, but it's something that, it's not something that I want to be doing. And I realized, hey, I need to move out, I need to get my own place. And I would rent, but the way I view renting is, I'm basically paying for somebody else's house, and I would much rather be paying for my own house. But like how I said, prices are so expensive. The other thing is, there's been tons and tons of things that I've been trying to do, and honestly, like, I failed on them, and I feel like I've been a failure. The other thing is, like, seeing the growth on my YouTube channel, it's not as growing as fast as I would like it to be. Of course, I tried making a little bit different content, and then that, I don't really get too much views, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm here stuck making the same content, and it's like, making the same content kind of gets a little bit boring. It's like, how do you explain one thing like 100 different ways? And that gets a little bit old after a while. And so I'm kind of like, I just feel like I'm in a rut. I'm like, okay, well, I'm showing up to work, and I realize that I want to escape this rat race, this matrix, and eventually I want to just have that financial freedom where I can just be like, hey, I want to go here, I want to go there, and not even have to worry about the expenses. I just book the trip and just go and do it. And eventually I would like to get to that vlogging lifestyle where I'm like, hey, come and check out what I'm doing, or, you know, if you're in the area, come and hang out with me or whatever. But eventually that's later on down the future. Right now I'm currently just, you know, realizing, okay, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step, and I feel like I'm barely on the first beginning steps, and I'm, whoa, I still got like 999 more miles to go. I'm like, this is gonna take on forever, and that gets really discouraging, and I'm pretty sure that's really relatable to some of you guys out there. And then the other thing is self-control, the discipline. That's something I've been trying to work on. It's not the best where I want it to be at, but slowly I'm recognizing, hey, my mentality is changing a little bit. I was just wasting some time. I was like, okay, well, the time's gonna pass by. You might as well be doing something productive than wasting your time and not have anything at the end of the day. You might as well be working for your future self. Your future self is gonna appreciate the work that you put in today. There's tons and tons of things that like rich and famous people that they always mention, or just from your day-to-day basis, you learn something new from somebody that you just know on a daily basis, and it sticks with you. But yeah, it made me realize I need to start putting in the work and the effort. But it gets really discouraging. You want to give up, you want to quit when you barely even see any results. And honestly, I think the vast majority of people, they just give up. And I remember there was this one meme, or this one picture. There's the difference between the person who strikes diamonds and the person who doesn't strike diamonds, and it's the person that kept on going. They're the ones that struck it. And then you have the person, they're right about to end up hitting that successful hit, but then they end up giving up right before it, just because it gets really discouraging. The other thing is, you have people like in competitions, they're like the races and all that, and like you have two people running together, and they're right next to each other, and the person who keeps on going a little bit extra is the one that ends up winning. And I realized the importance of winning, so just continue going on. But going back to my current situation, I realize I'm not happy with where I'm at. I don't have my own house. I'm not living on my own. I'm still currently at home. At least I got my car paid off. That was the only nice thing that I actually did. I don't have any other financial income coming in, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm really dependent on my job. I would like to have multiple sources of income, which honestly, if you guys have any suggestions, I would greatly appreciate it, just so I kind of learn about what's out there. I kind of already have a broad idea of what kind of works and what doesn't for me. Of course, it's different for everybody on their own financial situations and all that. Everybody's lifestyle is different as well. The other thing I want to mention is I've been slacking a little bit this year. This is something that I noticed with myself. Ever since I got into this relationship, I've actually been a little bit more happier, and things have been a little bit more comfortable. And if you guys didn't know, comfort actually destroys your productiveness. And the reason I say that is because when you have discomfort, you're like, I don't like where I'm at, and you start questioning it. How can I get out of this? And you start looking for solutions. And this is something that I noticed, like basically last year I created my YouTube channel, and I think around this time I probably had like 400 subs, and that was from probably like 7-8 months ago, because I think I started it in April, so actually maybe a little bit shorter. But essentially I noticed I got a good to decent amount of people following my YouTube channel, and then it really slowed down this year. And the reason why it kind of slowed down is because I got a little bit comfortable. I started doing a couple of vacations with my girlfriend, and I realized I wasn't really creating content for this YouTube channel. And this is just something that I noticed. But currently, ever since I got this injury, I've been having a lot of free time on my hands, and it made me realize, hey, you're not doing anything. You're not going anywhere. You're still in the same rut. You need to change something about it. And that discomfort is really good, because it makes you productive. It makes you want to get out of whatever situation that you're in. And that's where I'm currently at. Is I'm not happy with where I'm at. I haven't had the time to really think to myself ever since I got this injury, so it's kind of a blessing and then also a bad thing as well. Just because I'm injured, I can't really do anything. I can't walk anywhere on my own. And yes, I do come back into my car to record these videos. I use my crutches, but essentially, this discomfort makes you realize, hey, you need to do something. And this injury, yeah, it sucks, but it's also something that's nice because it made me realize that I'm not as comfortable as I thought I was. The other thing I want to mention is give it some time. Let it settle in, just like how you should give whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to be productive on, give it some time. You should also let the discomfort settle in as well, just because I realized it kind of builds up, and then when it builds up, you're like, hey, I need to do something, I need to do something. And then that's when you start making action. That's when you start changing your lifestyle. And this is something that I noticed based off my own history. I wasn't really getting any attraction from women, and then I was like, okay, well, something's up. And then that's when I started taking working out real serious. That's when I started changing my physique, and then I started putting on the mass, and then I started noticing the results. And just from my day-to-day interactions, that's where I kind of notice it. Or you just notice people kind of checking you out or whatever it is. But of course, that's no longer a priority that I'm chasing, because right now my priority is chasing the money. And of course, you still have to be happy with what you have in this life, but you also want to strive for better as well, because you don't want to be stuck in the same position that you were 10 years ago or something like that. And you need to start making the difference for your future self. Like I said at the beginning of the video, your future self is going to appreciate the work that current you is going to do. Anyways, I want to make this video a little bit shorter for you guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys on the next video.